Weigh in on the payroll tax standoff and the GOP presidential race is Arizona Senator John McCAIN, the Republican presidential nominee in 2008. Senator, good to have you with us this morning.
Thank you. Good to be with you. And before we go on, we are paying a very heavy price in Baghdad because of our failure to have a residual force there. It's unraveling. I'm deeply disturbed about events, but not surprised.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you, Rob. We'll talk about the payroll tax in a second, but that was the first question I was going to pose to you this morning. When you heard about these coordinated attacks in and around Baghdad, was this a kind of I told you so moment? Did you feel in your estimation?
I'm afraid so. I had hoped not, but it was pretty obvious that if we did not have a residual force there, that things could unravel very quickly. All of us knew that. The president campaigned saying he would bring around the end of the war. They've already got propaganda out there called Promises Kept. And he made some very interesting comments about we're leaving behind a stable Iraq, which we knew was obviously not true. We needed the residual force there. It's not there, and now things are unraveling tragically.
How big a mistake do you see this for the president?
Well, I don't know about the president, but I know that the Iraqi people may be subject to the news reports that you just quoted this morning, and it's tragic for them. And of course, as you mentioned on the lead-in, we did 474 young Americans died there. It's really sad the way that they have. As General McCAIN said, we won the war and we're losing the peace.
Now I want to shift here and pivot to the payroll tax showdown, which you think is harming the Republican Party. You agreed with the Wall Street Journal op-ed accusing the GOP of botching this debate. How do you think this is going to come back to haunt Republicans down the line?
Well, first of all, we got a dysfunctional government, and in this fighting, we got 160 million Americans caught, innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire here, who stand to lose as much as $1,000 a year, which to them is a great deal of money. Yes, I think Republicans made a mistake, but I also fault the president and the Senate Democrats for. I understand why they're taking advantage of it, but it contributes enormously to the cynicism and anger of the American people when they see us fail to sit down together to try to get this worked out for their benefit. In other words, politics is overriding the good of the American people. I think what should happen if the House should pass the same bill the Senate did, only put a year on it, so as you just mentioned, we wouldn't have Groundhog Day all over again in 2 months, and then I hope that maybe the Senate would pass it. But this is really tragic to the American people, and I would say that next November, no incumbent is safe, nor should they be.
Well, let me ask you this, kind of in regards to what you're just saying there. In that Wall Street Journal op-ed, which I just mentioned, there was mention that Republicans, by botching this, and like you said, the Democrats will pin this on the Republicans that you're going to raise taxes here. Are you essentially handing President Obama his re-election bid here by handling this the way the Republicans have handled this?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that the president and the Democrats have a political advantage here. I hope we can right the ship. I hope we can get it done quickly. And again, I just mentioned one exit path, and there's bound to be others. But there's no doubt this hurts the Republican Party, and that bothers me a great deal as a Republican. But what bothers me a great deal more is our failure to work for the American people together. And again, I understand the president called Mr. Boehner yesterday. I served under 4 other presidents that if this was going on, he would be calling the leaders over to sit down in the Oval Office and say, let's hammer this out, instead of going shopping.
I want to talk about the GOP campaign right now and the back and forth between Newt Gingrich and Mitt Romney right now. You've been in a couple of street fights as far as campaigns go. Right now, Mitt Romney giving the old, hey, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, to Newt firing back, saying, hey, if you want to debate, you and me, one-on-one, 90 minutes, no moderator, let's just go. You and I will sit down at a table and we'll let the American people decide. There's been some mudslinging back and forth with some of these super PACs. What do you think about the negative ads and the negativity that comes along with these campaigns, even though the candidates say, let's keep it clean? Do they really mean it?
Well, I think they mean it, but, you know, these things aren't beanbag. But what I have worried about for a long time is because of the worst Supreme Court decision, and certainly in the in the last 100 years, in my view, they allowed now this free flow of money, which is unaccounted for. There's no transparency, and those are really the ones that are funding the most negative ads. And I predicted it when they overturned what we used to know as McCAIN-Feingold. The money that's washing around is going to cause, over time, huge scandals. I guarantee it.
Yeah, that McCAIN-Feingold thing. There's two smart men behind that one, huh?
I hope so. I hope so.
Senator, thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time, and good to talk with you this morning. Happy holidays.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.